Hello again, my name is Gabe Zolna. Well, I just read an interesting article on Newsmax. I will attach the link, you're not going to have to look for it. And the title is Up to 180 Sleeper Terrorists Preparing for Attacks. I wonder how they sort of know that. I wonder how that number of 180 pops up. I think it's dramatically on the low side. And they're talking about terrorist cells in Europe. There's no mention of terrorist cells here in the good old USA. Well, what do you think Islamabad is all about? You don't think that's a terrorist cell? I did a video on Islamabad. It's in New York State, near the Pennsylvania border. You might want to sort of check into it. And, oh, by the way, that's just one of countless terror cells scattered throughout the United States. Islamabad's been there for like over 30 years. Yeah, they're, well, one would say well entrenched. But here they're talking about the United Kingdom, Belgium, the Netherlands, and France. Those are the supposed targeted areas. I don't have a doubt that that's probably true. I question the 180 number. I don't know how they even remotely got that number. One could say, well, maybe they captured some of those folks in Belgium. There's one I know that they captured. They killed a couple. Then they went and captured some more. Maybe that's where they got that information from. But once again, I'm very suspicious of that number being even remotely close to reality. And once again, there's really very little, if any, mention about terror cells here in the good old United States. We do know that there are some folks that have been converted to Islam. There was a 20-year-old, or I believe a 20-year-old, that was just arrested because he had planned to use pipe bombs at Congress, and then as the congressional representatives were departing for fear of their lives, he planned to shoot them. He purchased a couple of high-powered rifles, and he also purchased 600 rounds of ammunition. And we've also been told that the FBI, well, what they did is they worked along with him. They were involved in the sting, so I can't imagine that he's not going to be released because it's called entrapment. Yeah, you'd think they'd be a little smarter than that. I'm talking about the FBI. But anyway, I gotta believe that terror cells are here, and the kind of bloodshed that we see played out in Europe, in France, it can't but help to happen here. Why? Well, we're regarded as the big Satan. Israel is the small Satan. And one of the things you have to give these Islamic extremists credit for, well, there's actually two things. One thing is that they're very patient, incredibly patient. King Abdullah has waited 55 years for his Manchurian candidate to disassemble America. The other thing is that they're determined. They will consume the free world. Why? Well, it's democratic. And the numbers determine the fate of governments. When they're breeding at the rate of who knows, and we're aborting at the rate of who knows, what do you think's going to happen? Anyway, read the article. You're going to find it to be somewhat interesting. But again, I think a lot of it is based on speculation. They really don't have a clue what the hell they're talking about. And I'm not knocking Newsmax. They're doing the best that they can. But there's no way that they even have the remotest clue as to how many cells, sleeper cells, are in Europe, or for that matter, right here in good old USA. Obama's had the borders open for how long? We'll see. I told you what I think. So let me know what you think.